Hi, I'm Xander, the King of Nature Young Ambassador, and I'm back for part 2 for my series of insects. And today we're going to be talking about bugs. Most of you will use the word bugs for an alternative to insects, but you're wrong. And it's a very common mistake to make too. I'll explain about what the word bugs actually means and the difference between insects and bugs. But today I'm in Craigellachie Nature Reserve. This area is amazing, not only for insects but for a whole set of wildlife too. And there's even a peregrine falcon that nests here every summer. As I mentioned in my previous video, there are 30 orders. These orders are a way to categorize and group together different insects due to similar features or abilities. One of these orders is called Hempiptera, or commonly known as bugs. The thing about bugs is that all bugs are insects, but not all insects are bugs. I'll be classifying this order as true bugs to ensure that there's no confusion between the incorrect word for this and the true word. In Britain, true bugs tend to be very small, going to around 5 mm in length, but with Britain, true bugs can grow to a whopping 35 mm, and that's 3.5 centimeters. Wow! For something to be classed as a true bug, it must have a tube-like sucking mouthpart, also known as a proboscis. You may think that insects such as butterflies and bees are bugs because they have a proboscis, but this is not the case because they can retract their proboscis. You might have seen butterflies curl them up in videos or pictures before. So, in summary, for it to be a true bug, it must have a proboscis which cannot be retracted. Bugs tend to use their mouth parts to pierce into plants and suck out the sap from it. But when some of the gruesome ones, such as the bedbug, use their sucking mouth part to pierce into animal skin and suck out its blood. Ew! As you can see on this picture of a bedbug, the mouth part tends to point down the way and below it, making it hard to see unless you actually pick the bug up. Don't worry, I know what you're thinking. This isn't the real size of a bedbug. I've just enlarged it so it's easier to see for the video. As I mentioned in my last video about insects and the key features to identify them, you can clearly see that this bug is an insect, since it has 3 pairs of legs, a 3-part body made up from a head, a thorax and an abdomen, compound eyes and a 2-pair antenna. And while on the thought of antenna, bugs tend to have very short antennae with less than 5 segments on them, and as you can see on this bedbug, it only has 2 segments. If true bugs have wings, their front wings tend to be hardened, with their rear wings clear, but with veins running through them which make them strong for flight. And when the true bug's sitting down, their wings tend to fold over with quite a lot of overlap. Within bugs, there is a further 4 suborders, which cover the 80,000 recorded species of known true bugs. Wow! However, don't get caught up with all these orders and suborders without looking for insects and bugs. Just remember the key differences, so that should hopefully help you identify them. All true bugs start life as an egg, which develops into a nymph. A nymph is pretty much a smaller version of the adult form. These true bugs differ from things like butterflies and moths, which start life as a larvae, such as caterpillars. These larvae metamorphosize into a completely different looking adult after a period of pupating. I'll explain all the stuff about larvae and nymphs and adults and young in my next video. For your first bug hunt, I'm going to give you a few common bugs found in Britain. So, there's things like stink and shield bugs, froghoppers, pond skaters, water boatmen, and aphids. My favourite is probably the aphids because ants farm these aphids for honeydew, which they eat. So if the ants like them, then I like them. Oh, and you know that white substance you find on blades of grass in summer, also known as cuckoo spit? Well, that is a shield that protects the young froghoppers. So, you've probably seen a true bug, and you didn't even know it. This winter weather isn't getting any better. First of all, it was snowing, and now it's pouring down with rain. So I'm going to be heading home soon. But before I do, remember to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any of the other videos in the series. Next, I'll be talking about the differences between lynx and larvae, their life cycle, and how they develop into adults. Then, I'll be talking about how insects stay alive, using camouflage and their defense techniques. And finally, to round off this series, some fun facts, books, and guides to help you get out there and explore. And if you missed my first video on an introduction to insects, why not have a look at it now? I'll see you next time. Bye!